Hello, one and all, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Off the Dome. I'm your humble interviewer, Jordon Brown, and with me, as always, is our incredible interviewer. Say hi, incredible interviewer.
Hi, incredible interviewee. Was that it? I started talking before you finished talking, and I apologize.
Incredibly, it was incredible interviewer, and now the second time you have said incredible interviewee instead of interviewer. So
that's sort of
maybe
people,
it's on me. It's on me.
No,
I should change it.
You know when people ask you sort of like, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? I think one of my weaknesses is passive aggressively correcting grammar. That's one of my that's one of my huge weaknesses in life, I think.
This is because we were fighting about CCTV right before this started.
No, we weren't fighting because I said CCTV and I was right about it. So it was sort of, I would just say, it was a conversation that landed on.
Wrong. I was wrong.
No, you were right too. We were all right, actually, now that I think about it. We were both right, actually. And now that I even think about it, I don't even think that happened.
Agreed. I mean, certainly people watching this aren't going to know what we're talking about. And that is how I always like to start my interviews, specifically speaking of. If I put a dog turd in a glass of wine, would you be able to tell?
Oh, no. That was from so long ago, Jordan.
Look, I'm just going to keep getting more and more obscure until no one knows what I'm talking about.
That was the last College Humor sketch I ever filmed, I think. I worked as a freelancer for College Humor for a year as sort of Dropout was rolling out. I got hired as sort of on a freelance basis to help like fill in writing some sketches and being in some sketches as the cast was starting to do Dropout stuff. And then the company went out like right before Christmas in 2019.
Yeah.
Crazy. But that was the last one that I did. We filmed it at the YouTube space, which I feel like I can say now because that was 5 years ago. Was 2019 5 years ago?
Going on it, yeah. It's unfortunate.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's truly wild. Eventually, so I don't know what your memory is like for
bad,
things that,
broken.
Okay, great. I'm assuming that eventually I'm gonna find something and reference it, and you're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
We're getting close because you did say that, and I was like, "What is that?" And then I was like, "Oh my god!"
Perfect. Yes, that's what
we're getting there. We're getting there.
It's you throw them off their game right at the start of an interview. It's my big, very weird strategy.
Well, can I be honest? The other thing that there's a good chance that I'll do is you'll reference something and I'll be like, "Oh, whoa, yeah, cool," and it's something that you've referenced that I wasn't even a part of, but I'll sort of be like, "Oh yeah," because I like to be supportive. And so if you found something, then there's a not a huge. I was one of those kids. Did you ever do? Did you ever do that thing where like in elementary school where people are like, we're going to make up a band name and then we're going to ask that person about the band name and see if they are like, oh, I love that band, just to sort of like fit in. I feel like that happened to me at least twice a week. And I always, every single time was like, yeah, I love that band. And then got made fun of for being a poser. And then sometimes they would sprinkle in real bands and I'd try and catch on and be like, no, never heard of them. And they're like, you've never heard of Smash Mouth? And it was a real band that one time. So it's a real you lose situation. Is this going well so far? Be honest.
This is truly the best we've ever done.
I think I am uncomfortable with how crystal clear the audio is in time with our mouth movements.
Yeah, it's disturbing. One person commented on the most recent one we did on the YouTube video. Vic and Jordon accidentally start a podcast against all odds, and that's a pretty solid encapsulation of what
this was my plan the whole time.
The technology's odds.
Sure.
we have been fighting an uphill battle of chaos, but 100% of 100% likes on that video. I mean, not like view to like ratio, but no down votes on that video.
Well, just watch. This is you putting that out into the world. People are going to go. People are going to go. Actually,
yeah. I miss
your way.
Yeah, I miss them not being able to understand the questions and there being huge chunks where Vic is frozen and Jordon can't respond. I miss those. Yeah. But
I love that you said Riverside is amazing because it fixes everything. And then you went into it this time and we're just like, it was that hard. It was that hard and that bad that this was the fix that Riverside came up with. Am I allowed to say that you record on Riverside? I apologize. I just said you recorded on Riverside like 4 times.
Yeah. I'm not going to edit it out. That's for sure. I'm fine if people know that I record on Riverside. And Riverside, get at me. I'm open for... I'll sell out so fast.
Oh, me too. I agree. I'm dying to... Tide to go. Get me some Tide to go cash. And I will hawk that on every single street corner.
Yeah. Oh, so fast. Someone posted a video where they were promoting Sarah Barrios's Teenage Rebellion video, the Dimension 20.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. And they it was like sponsored content. And I was like, wait, how did you get that? I want that. I've been promoting it for free like an idiot.
Whoa. Wait, the video itself was sponsored content?
Someone reached out, a marketing firm, I think, and was like, hey, will you promote the video, her music video for the song? And so a mutual of mine who was like, look at all the cool Dimension 20 Easter eggs. And I was like, I've made literally that video.
Oh, I see.
This is the problem. Sam's never going to pay me. Sam's never going to pay me to promote something because I just do it for free. They're like, hey, here's the Face for TV mug of the month. And I'm like, I'll talk about that for 30 seconds on TikTok. No problem.
I always hated that notion of what was that really awful thing that people used to say? The cow for free. Why would you? Why buy the milk if you get the cow for free? The cow for free. Well, here is the thing. Cows are expensive and upkeep for cows is expensive. And what if your cow is in a dairy commercial and then all of a sudden you have this free cow that you're making a lot of money off of? And so then there is really a use for the cow. And so that's how I feel about you, Jordon. Maybe the milk is free right now, but the cow is doing some big things. The cow is making some moves, and I feel really good that Dropout is going to want to pay the cow eventually, or someone's going to want to pay the cow eventually for this amazing content. Maybe this podcast, who knows? Yeah,
this killer podcast. We're ready to be sponsored. Hey, Magic Spoon, I know I have very vocally said that your cereal tastes like garbage. I will lie and say it tastes great if you pay me money.
Oh, me too. How fun would that be?
Yeah.
Get some Magic Spoon money.
You send me your styrofoam cereal. I'll sell it in a minute.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm ready to sell out. We're going to be famous cows by the end of the year. I feel this. I feel this for us.
Speaking of cows, what a transition. I'm scrolling through TikTok last week. This was going to be a question for you last week, but you know how that video went.
There was no way to do it.
Yeah, and I'm scrolling through, and I see what can only be described as an old woman. It looks like she has just been released from the hospital, and 2 horses are standing over her. And it says something like the healing power of horses. And right above the person's name, it says Vic Michaelis reposted.
I loved it.
I have no idea if it was part of the bit or if you genuinely love the healing power of horses.
Somebody sent it to me as a part of the bit, and then I was like, well, this is fun. I stand by. I love horse people. I don't know how I feel about horses. I think it would depend on the horse, but I've never met a horse person that I wasn't completely intrigued and enthralled by.
That's fair.
It's an anthropological study.
Yeah. It delighted me to absolutely no end to see Vic Michaelis reposted the healing power of horses.
I loved it. It was wonderful. The healing power of horses. Yeah, my cousin sent it to me. He's the one where I'm not going to say his name because I don't want my secret ruined. And also, I don't know how he would feel about people going through his likes, but that's what I do is he leaves his likes open. And so on Twitter and on TikTok, in order to fix my algorithm, I just go through and I like all the videos that he likes. And then it just sends me videos that I like from then on out because he is my personal arbiter of taste.
That's very smart. See, smart, rich cows so soon.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. I'm also... I'm hoping it's allergies, so we'll see how my voice holds up for this.
Knock, knock, knock.
Nailed it.
It's wood. It's wood. So
yeah. I do have an idea for a segment for our podcast that we have started against all odds.
Oh, great.
And that is that we go see a movie, not necessarily together, because it feels like flying to LA to see a movie with you might be like prohibitively costly.
Sure.
But then the segment is you guess what happened while you fell asleep during the movie.
Oh, I love that. What a fun segment. I think that that's a brilliant idea. I can tell you, I just started Mr. and Mrs. Smith last night, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay. Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they get together. I'm assuming they are very good spies. There's a couple of problems, and then they figure it out in the end. Cliffhanger, season 2.
Ooh, love it. I think
I've heard good
things. I haven't seen it, so I can't confirm or deny. But
first 25 minutes, great.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, my wife had never seen Kung Fu Panda, which I couldn't believe. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Because the fourth one, the trailer was during the Super Bowl, and I was like, oh, there's another one. She was like, it's a second one. I was like, it's a fourth one. What do you mean a second one? I was like, wait, have you not seen Kung Fu Panda? And she was like, no. So we obviously rectified that immediately.
What did she think?
Loved it. It's delightful.
Yeah, that's great. That's also what a fantastic family movie.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't watch it with our son, but
just honestly, even better. Not getting slowed down by a block break, maybe.
Yeah, but she did fall asleep on night 1 of watching it, and I did ask her if she wanted me to stop it. So I did violate the thing I said I was going to do, which was let her sleep through movies. But it's Kung Fu Panda. How could she's going to miss so many delightful parts.
And also you've seen it, she hasn't seen it. So that also feels like a different situation. It'd be one thing if it was a brand new movie. It's another thing. It's another thing if you're watching it in order to show it to somebody, and then that person that you're showing it to isn't there. You got things to catch up on.
Yeah.
So much content out there.
So much content. We finished it last night. So it took us 2 nights, but we got there.
And out of 10, what rating is she?
I don't know. I don't know. Do you want me to text her and ask her?
Yeah. I think you're going to have to.
Yeah, she is currently substitute teaching, so I don't know if she should have her phone out, but I think it's kindergartners, so it's fine.
I think if it's kindergartners, you legally get a smoke break, but for your phone to scroll on Instagram for a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You get a 5 every 2 hours.
Legally, yeah. That's part of the substitute teacher union. Okay, we'll see.
We'll see. If not, keep me updated.
Last time I tried to text. Yeah, last time I tried to text during this, it did not land.
But you got an answer.
I did get an answer. For those of you that watched last time, my mom's best friend, her brother Gordon.
Really great answer, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, maybe the perfect answer.
Solid answer. It's good work.
When your friend's your family. When you're family, you're not always friends.
That is true. I guess. That
Somebody
tracks.
prove me wrong.
I've got some. Yeah.
I'm trying to get us quotes. That way, when we get the cow merch, is they got stuff to print, and then it's it's Minute Maid presents when your friends your family, but when your family your friends? Question mark. Who knows? I don't know. Who's to say?
Get at us, Minute Maid. You know you want the anti-family sentiment on a mug.
Yeah, I think it's important,
Yeah.
Nobody's doing it like that right now, you know what I mean?
Orange juice has been coasting on family for too long.
Well, that's my question. Isn't anti-family sentiment good for orange juice? Because then you got more households to put orange juice in.
It's probably true.
It's going bad in one person's fridge. And so then you got it in the other person's fridge, and then they got to go buy more for the one cup that they want.
Yeah. Because I've never wanted more than that of orange juice.
A single cup. It's true.
Yeah. My son is super into sparkling water. Loves it.
Sparkling water.
Yeah. Calls it sparking water. Delightful. And was very upset the other day. Yeah, he's excellent. He was very upset because I gave him, I think it was a blackberry lemonade Waterloo, and he wanted peach, and we did not have any peach.
Yeah.
So we poured orange juice into it, and then he loved it.
So okay, that's excellent to know. Blackberry with orange juice makes a peachy flavor. It wanted something a little sweeter, I guess.
Yeah, I don't. I've also poured milk into a sparkling water before, and he loved it. So I don't know,
Jordan, why did you do that?
Spite, I think.
Science.
He wanted milk and he had sparkling water, and my wife said he couldn't have both because he already had like several cups out. And I said, why don't we just put sparkling water in, or milk in his sparkling water? And my wife was like, no, he won't like that. And he was like, I will. And I was like, he says he will. And so then I don't know if he actually liked it or if he was like, I have to continue the bit. So, yeah. But he said he liked it.
Okay, I'm going to believe him. I'm going to choose to believe him because I don't want to live in a world where he's lying about that.
That's fair. This is so much fun.
So when we can ask, how is this going?
This is great. I did the least amount of prep because I was like, it's going to be a technical disaster. And now it's not. There's the lesson for you folks. When you don't do the prep is when it comes for you.
Prep a lot
kissing
sometimes,
a puppet.
sometimes don't prep at all. Yes.
Yeah. Kissing a puppet. First time?
Yeah. First time on TV for sure. It was great. It was great.
I do not understand Josh Rubin's brain and how he did that. No,
he's a genius. He truly is a genius. He was we shot that one on the first day, and it was so, I mean, Josh in general is a complete genius, and he I mean, just like truly creating like two characters that he was like popping in and out of was like magical. And I had mentioned this in the Discord at some point, but like he literally came out as the character and didn't come up for air until like 10 minutes after that shoot ended. I literally had one point where I went up to our director tomorrow and I was like, I am at the end of the interview, and I was like, I'm worried that me and Dr. Milk were being too mean to Josh. And Tamar was like, that is Josh. And then I felt better about it because I really was a little bit worried that me and Dr. Milk were being too mean, that it was going to look like we were bullying Josh. And then it is impossible because it was like Josh.
But yes. I watching that, I was like, he's so flawlessly flipping between them, like just incredible.
And coming up with like having the space to have jokes for each character as well, like an individual sense of humor for each character, I just thought was unbelievable. It really was like masterful to watch, and he really set the tone for the rest of the show and like really helped me figure out what I was doing as an interviewer. And I feel like the rest of the show is very what's the word, is very like I'm just very grateful that we had that to set the tone for the rest of the show. It just like he is so wonderful and so generous as a performer, as an improviser, and again is truly just a mad genius.
Also so kind. I like hopped into his TikTok DMs and was like, hey, would you ever want to do an interview with me? And he was like, yeah, I'm super busy, but like hit me up in like the middle of the year. And then I watched this episode and I had to email him to be like, hey, I know you said middle of the year, but like maybe now. And he's like, no, Jordan, I'm too busy. And I was like, fair. I just wanted to tell you how amazing this was. So
he is he's, I mean, like maybe the busiest little bee in Hollywood, because he's like a very prolific director as well. Right. So he's constantly got stuff like that going on.
He's in New York this weekend promoting like a Werewolves Within special panel thing that's happening. Like
yes, I saw that
movie, right? Yeah.
It's
delightful movie as well.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it great?
It's very fun. Yeah.
Can't wait to watch. Can't wait to fall asleep and then watch again and have an Easter egg in there.
Find out who the werewolf was.
Find out who the werewolf was the whole time. Yeah. That would be a funny. I fell asleep every time the werewolf came on screen. It's just sort of a tragic story of a relationship falling apart to me.
Yeah. Just people in the town slowly not being in later parts of the movie, and you're like, I don't know.
They're just leaving. It's you know, the town, it's getting smaller and smaller because of prices. They're getting priced out in my mind, I think, is what's happening. I mean, Josh is somebody that I think too, like having it felt like a lot of pressure going into it, especially because it being his right. Like sort of like the spiritual sequel to like his show was that was the one I was most nervous for going in, but again, him being just like so kind and so generous made it so much easier and really did set the tone moving forward.
Yeah, it's and like, as always, incredible shout out to Tamar for like the excellent ordering of these episodes, of just like every episode builds on the last, even though they weren't filmed in that order, which is amazing. Like, she's a genius.
Yeah. Oh, 1000%. I also think it's like interesting too, because like little stuff with like the doling out of information with host Vic. I think the first time that my stepdaughter, we'd mentioned her in terms of order of shooting, would have been this Josh episode. But it's interesting because coming after, I think in the order that it was released, maybe the Lisa episode is the first one time that it gets mentioned.
Yes.
And I think it's like it's a much stronger place for that information to come down and feels like a build on that information. But like her sorting through the improv and like making that make sense with heightening with that as well, I just think is like, it's mind-blowing. It's a way in which my brain doesn't totally work. And so with people who have like that mind for story in that way, in that like big picture way, really does just blow my mind.
Yeah. And especially doing it with improv of like, hey, I've made like, I know I like when I talked to her, we talked about like her taking, you know, you take 5 or whatever on the set, and she's like, hey, you seem to be going in this direction with the story. Lean into that, or take the opposite route, or whatever. Of like, what if we have a loose narrative to build this episode around? But then doing that also with like the scope of the show, she's a genius. She's a genius, and
yeah. 1000%. It was so nice because I mean, like, we're all a lot of us who are doing the show come from like UCB style improv, which is really heavy on this idea of, it's called game in improv, which is like having this like funny sort of idea that we're working towards, right? And you can just sort of go forever. It's just about like, if this is true, what else is true, and like building upon that towards like this common goal of this game, this funny idea that we're playing towards. And it can be very easy to lose narrative in something like that. So having somebody with such a heartbeat for narrative, leading the ship, it was just it was a dream.
Yeah. And I mean, and not to any episode is bad. They are not. Unlike other episodes, it feels like the narrative for this one became apparent. Like, the game became apparent immediately of host Vic is falling in love with Dr. Milk in front of our eyes. Like, that was like the moment Dr. Milk talked, it was like, oh, I see where this is going. I can't wait. And
yes,
did not disappoint.
Totally. It's so funny with something like that, because that was not a surprise. That was like something that we felt on set. People sort of like putting together Denzel and host Vic was one that Iffy and I on our little text thread were pretty shocked by. The tension. You can see it in the edit. I don't begrudge anybody that saw that in the way that it was filmed and the way it doled out, but it was so funny because it was not something we clocked during it at all.
Iffy's natural presence, like I think they even like the code was like horny alien or whatever, like for his like piece, because if he does what if he does, and he does it very well.
Well, it's funny with that one, like that was the original game idea, and then I mean, just as sort of like the beauty of improv, we sort of were like exploring like if this is true, what else is true, like fleshing out this alien character together, and it really was that line of what was it? The light from the sun is the light from the moon, where all of a sudden it just like the game really turned in a big way, and it just became a thing that then we riffed on for the next like 30 minutes or whatever it was, just like things that already existed, and he had like a worse version of them. It really was brilliant. Did we get a text?
Yeah. No, that was my alarm letting me. We did get a text. That was my alarm telling me to take my antidepressant, which I already did. Thumbs
okay,
up
brilliant. Here we go.
8 out of 10.
Huge. That's actually
great.
Solid, especially for a kids movie that you're watching without a kid. I think is like that is that's all you can ask for out of an animated movie. I mean, like, you got like Spider-Verse that would land in those 10 out of 10s. A lot of those, like, have you seen like Kubo and the 10 string, or like Paranorman, like Coraline? Those ones will land like high 9s for me as well, maybe even 10s. But like, yeah, I think a good kids movie, one that I walk out and I'm like, I really enjoyed that, is landing at like an 8 out of 10 for me for the most part.
The first time I saw it, Kung Fu Panda, I was dating someone at the time. Thank goodness this is not a story about my wife, because this person walked into the bedroom where I was watching it and made fun of me for how like delighted I was by the movie that I was watching. So anyway,
how awful.
Things are better. Yeah.
What is? Who cares? Like, what?
Because I guess I was like childlike, like curled up with like a giant smile, and I was like, yeah, it's a delightfully fun movie.
It's fun, and I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Sorry you don't enjoy the whimsy of Jack Black, but you're
just
wrong.
Watch. This person was the one that was like looking through this interview being like, okay, maybe I'll give. They work for Minute Maid now in my mind, and they're like looking through. They're scrubbing through this episode.
Devastating news for you. That person, huge horse girl.
That's tough for me to hear.
Yeah, that's a tough one, I know.
I think means I take their side now. That's
fair.
Really unfortunate.
Look,
that's really unfortunate. For
who's
me
to say
hear.
I'm even remembering this correctly? But
no, you are, and it's hard for me to admit. But God, I love a horse girl. That's tough. That's tough. Give me the night to think about it, and I'm going to come back next week, and I will let you know where I've landed on this one.
Perfect.
Mean horse girl versus Jordon just having a good time watching Kung Fu Panda is sort of the decision I'm making here. Who's in the right?
That's fair. Yeah.
I'll
give you some time to think about it. Another question from the last one that we didn't get to. Do you know who Squeam is from Dimension 20?
Okay, so I am just in general a big D20 fan. I spend a lot of time in Canada, and when I'm up there, like it's all of it's just like it's all my friends having fun and doing improv together. And I was very lonely when I was up in Canada for an extended period of time, and so I started watching I'm actually first, which I really love, and then I started watching some of the D20 stuff, and I started with Fantasy High freshman year, so I've seen that one, and I've seen the 7. I've seen kind of Candy, Court of Fame Flowers, which I really, really, really loved. That was the second one I watched, I think, and that one was coming out as I was watching that. And then I haven't seen sophomore year, and I haven't seen junior year yet, but I am aware that Squeam is an NPC in junior year.
Yes. And like the bit that happens at the beginning of junior year is that we hop into the middle of a battle that's like months in the making, and so Squeam is one of their allies. Oh, and we as the audience have never met him, but Brennan introduces him like everyone knows who he is, and because those improvisers are brilliant, they latch onto it so hard that like I would say about 50% of the Dimension 20 fan base fully falls into the like, we've been gaslit, I don't understand what's happening, I must have missed an episode somewhere, because Zach Oyama is just too good at being an improviser.
Sure.
But Squeam then becomes like this whole thing, doesn't matter. He is one of the Instagram accounts who posts the picture of the doll on your show.
Yes, I know this only because I got tagged in so many things, which is what led me to being like, okay, I'll bite. What's Squeam? What is Squeam? And this is what research led me to believe, to understand that. But I did see that. I didn't see it at first. It was, I would say, incessant feels like a harsh word. A kinder word for incessant. A lighter word for incessant. A lot. Is that better?
Yeah.
A lot of tags.
Yeah.
Constant tags. There we go. Constant.
Yeah.
Constant tags. Constant tags.
I get it. Yeah. Incessant is fine. Stop tagging Vic and Squeam pictures.
No. I want the tags. I want them. I want them. Actually. I love them. More tags.
Yeah. Yeah. Delightful. Yeah, I am. I'm so curious who it was that like crossed that bridge, and like grabbed a Dimension 20 NPC and put it into VIP universe, and also if that means that they are a shared universe, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's delightful.
It's gotta be, right? I mean, like, there's something to all of the drama. I mean, I shouldn't say this because I am not an authority on this. I am also here in an unofficial capacity. So who's to say? Who's to say? And I don't know. And I'm actually not going to say what I was about to say. So never mind. Who's to say? Not me, and I won't.
Yep. Neither confirm nor deny. Deny. We'll get that on merch as well.
Yeah. Minute Maid. Just let us know where you want us to send this.
You send us the money and make the merch, and then we'll talk about it.
And then we'll talk about it. I can give you catchphrases all day long to print on shirts and cozies and sweaters, hats, socks.
Yeah. People need orange juice reminders on their feet.
That's true. Somewhere like a nice high top sock, and it's sort of in the middle, so that way when you're walking in your jeans, like, so you can see the top of the socks, and then we just get a delicate little quote with the Minute Maid symbol. Yeah, the Minute Maid symbol. Drink OJ, Sarah can of Coke. Minute Maid symbol. Wow, love it! I was so happy that
oh my god,
that they dropped that clip. That was, I think, my favorite prompt I've done maybe ever on Make Some Noise. Yeah. I loved that prompt. It was a brilliantly written one.
A great prompt. You dropping into that voice so fast was so spectacular. And then the just true, I mean, couldn't have asked for a better ending of fumbling the word hamburglar after the gorgeous lead up to it was
somebody on Twitter was like, we want the edits of you, like, of the saying it. I was like, they included all of it. I think that is like, there is no additional footage. I legitimately think all of it was me going, I'm not even gonna try and say it now. Just saying it wrong like 4 times and then being like, how do you say it? That was the entire moment. That was I don't think it was edited very much. So that was that's all there is.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, Sarah can of Coke. So fantastic. Just absolutely. Look, Tamar is
Jordon.
A genius. You are also one. So that is why the show's so good.
Very kind.
I can get in a fight with someone in the comments. I mean, I not this specific one. I have gotten in some fights in the comments.
Sure.
And I'm losing them. I'm not winning comment fights out here. Surprise, surprise. Reddit does not take kindly to criticisms of gender. Who would have guessed?
Oh, sure.
But someone, I think it was on TikTok, and they were like, Vic is a genius. I think they should get their own show like Tim Robinson. And I replied, what do you think this is? Because it was on a clip of VIP.
Oh, sure.
Like, Vic has their own show. Like,
that is this one that you're interacting with.
You're watching it
good person.
On the screen as you're writing this comment out.
It might have been my dad. That is, it might have been my dad. He's going, this show is so good. This show is so good. I can't wait for you to be doing something, getting a show. Yeah. And I'm like, Dad, this
clip on TikTok is so
Dad,
great.
Vic
should get a whole show about this.
It's so kind. It's so unbelievably kind. It's coming from the kindest place. But honestly, I really like, somebody was asking me the other day of being like, what's the goal? And I'm like, this is the goal. I'm like, this genuinely, like, if I could do this forever, like being a part of Dropout, like doing Dropout stuff, and as long as I can make okay money doing it, I'm like, this is my goal. I'll work to continue being able to do that. You know what I mean? Like that is all I ever want to do.
I mean, look, it's all we as fans want as well. I mean, that's not true. We want you to like have any success that you would want, because of course, but like we want Dropout to continue to pay you incredibly well so that you will come back and make more Dropout content.
Yeah, I mean, like they really are the from my experience, like I've just had such a positive experience with them, and I'm very grateful. And they're still a company, but like the people that are involved with building up the company, I really love working with.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Speaking of people you're working with, Allie, you, and Jacob. Ooh, that looks like it's going to be a real chaotic make some noise prompt that you can neither confirm nor deny. That someone posted a full picture of it on Twitter.
Did they?
That's fine.
I don't know.
Who's to
Who
say?
knows?
Yeah, you didn't, so that's all we know for sure. Yeah,
and I won't. If it was the three of us,
that sounds fun. Yeah, if that were to exist in some future variation, that does sound fun.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
No, I love those guys. We're on an improv team together, and it just is anytime I get to perform with those guys, it's a great day.
Yeah, delightful. Should we get in the comments?
Oh, let's do it. Where I read
your comments, so that way you don't have to.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
I am continually astonished, not just by guests' ability to inhabit such wild characters, but Vic's absolute effortless amplification of what they bring to the table. Absolute, this is where I got in a fight, queen of commitment to scenes, from the shorter MSN prompts up to the long-form pieces we get on VIP.
Very kind.
I said you wouldn't choose queen as your moniker for royalty.
Probably not. It doesn't really bother me too much. I'm like, the way I view all this stuff online is like, the reason that I keep the she around in there, like, because it's like they them preferred, she, her, fine, is mostly just so that way I don't have to get into arguments with people that don't know me. Is mostly my thought process on it. I view it as people knowing me or not knowing me. You know what I mean? That's just kind of it. Is like, I also like I know I'm much more femme presenting, and it really, really matters to some people. And for me, I'm like, my name is very important to me that people are using Vic. But outside of that, like, there's other things, and the people that are closer to me, I feel like I hold to a higher standard. But people online, I'm just sort of like, but I guess that's it too, is like, it is always weird when people are sort of like, oh, heads up, this is the preference, and then people are like, wow, no, it's not actually. No, it's not. Actually, I don't think so. It's like having your cake and eating it too a little bit, with like wanting to partaking in some of the parasocialness online, but then being like confronted with an actual fact about somebody and being like, no, actually you're wrong. Actually you're wrong, and that's wrong.
That is the exact experience I had. Well, first of all, someone told me that queen is gender neutral, and I was like, it sure isn't, but okay. And then, someone was like, they'd be fine with it. And I was like, I didn't respond, because I stopped myself to be like, hey, you read my username, and then you guess which one of us knows Vic better. But I promised someone I would read the whole thing. It's so long, so I'm probably not going to read the whole thing.
Okay, I'm here and I'm listening.
But anyway, to those people, guillotine. Very important people, in my view, is one of the best things Dropout has ever put out. I've been obsessed with the show since it started airing in December, particularly Vic's fictionalized version of themselves. Though each episode is designed to be a window into a one-off character's crazy life, it's been spectacular to watch Vic develop their own character throughout the episodes, revealing more and more about themselves and their whole deal. This most recent episode with Josh revealed quite a bit about Vic, so I wanted to put my analysis on the series, and we could probably end. Anyway, you're brilliant, and the internet loves you.
That's so kind. It really has been, again, like, spending so many years doing improv for like 5 to 10 people in indie theaters, putting your heart into something, and then people, even just interacting with it on any level really is incredible. It's just very kind. I'm so appreciative that people are taking the time to watch it and are, I think, on the whole, enjoying the experience. But even if not, like, I do really appreciate the people that are like giving it a chance and taking a watch to it, taking watch of it.
Taking a watch to it.
Is that right?
By Minute Maid.
I don't think that's right. Is that right?
It's not right, but because it's not right, we can like throw it on a shirt.
Jordan, I started this episode by saying one of my things that I love doing is correcting people's grammar, and I have something to admit. I'm very dyslexic, and I actually can't do grammar, and I think maybe that's why I relish in moments where I can't correct grammar.
That's fair.
Of any kind. I feel better now that I've been honest about that.
I appreciate it. My charity series that I do on TikTok, where I yell about something and then donate the money to charity, is called Every Money Charity, because in the first video that I made about it, I said I would donate every money to charity, which is not a sentence. But I was talking so fast, I didn't hear myself say it when I went back to edit it. And then many people pointed it out in the comments. And I was like, it's the name of the thing now, because hashtag Every Money Charity is not going to be taken by anyone else.
No, that's it now. Yeah, that is sort of one of, I would say, the most dissociative things about doing improv or making content that then it being edited by somebody else and then being put online, is that you'll say stuff and then it'll show up and you'll be like, there's no way I said that, but you're there saying it, and it really, and then it just exists, and it is there with you misspeaking or saying something that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Or even does make sense. So, like, I talked to Rashawn Scott after an episode of Burrow's End. I don't know why I said it like that, because I didn't talk to her after the specific one I'm going to reference. That doesn't matter. Anyway, in one of the episodes, she says, "Hey, girl, hey," and then forgot, like, didn't know that was a thing she said. And then everyone in the world messaged her, like everyone tagging you for Squeam, everyone messaged her, "Hey girl, hey," before she'd watched the episode back. And she was like, I don't know why everyone is saying this to me.
Oh, no. That's really funny. Burrow's End was really delightful too. I loved Burrow's End.
Yeah. Look, Abria Iyengar is my mortal enemy, but by God, she is talented.
God, she's so good. Is just like, I mean, like, I love Brennan as a DM so much. He's so wonderful. I love Abria as a DM. That's not a but, that's an and. Like, I mean, they're so different. It's a completely different ball game. But yeah, like, A Court of Flame and Flowers really was so wonderful. And I just like the brain, the ideas of like putting that together, like, I just incredible.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, if Abria wasn't such a coward, she would get you in the dome immediately. That's right, Abria. Stop being a coward.
Jordon,
get Vic in the dome.
This is so hard.
For me, not Vic.
This is twice now that I have had to make a impossible decision. You versus Mean Horse Girl. You versus Abria. Don't put me in that position. Don't make me pick, because I'm going to have to pick Abria, and that's going to be a problem.
The puppet is made of felt, but smooth like velvet. Solid comment.
I love that, because it's true. It's true.
And holy shit, I was not expecting the kiss at the end, and it absolutely killed me. Just so fan. Everything. There was some other comment that I have somewhere about like your. Oh, I did save it. I took screenshots. Vic's acting during the kiss was so funny. Crying emoji. I don't know why. The way they pulled away and looked so shocked. LMFAOOO. It really was like that button on that moment of you pulling back and looking horrified at what you had just done. So funny.
Yeah, that's also a like such a testament to Tamar and our editor Eva. It's just like, it really is. I mean, they do magic in there. It really is incredible. I hated that do magic in there. They really are so good at what they do. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of like the little zooms and like the pacing of those moments, because like comedy lives and dies in timing, and it is. I mean, just like they have been so good with that, I think.
Yeah, but like really able to do that because of a brilliant performance by you.
Wow. What if for me, I'm in the other box? So you just pointed to nothing.
Yeah,
I'm not, but that would be crazy.
Look, it's wild that I got the point correct, generally speaking. Usually anytime I point on a webcam, I'm like, and then this person, if I try to point to something behind me, it's a whole nightmare.
No, it's done. You just saw me try and knock on wood there. It's hard. It's hard, and we're doing our best.
The internet is so hard.
Pop that on a shirt, Minute Maid. Somebody has to have said that already, right? Life's hard.
I think we're the first ones to come up with it.
I don't know.
Also, the like full end of the episode where you are talking to Dr. Milk, the puppet, on the ground, just impeccable. Like, what a fantastic end. What a great freeze frame to just like credits roll over. I can't say enough good things about your show. It's so good.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. Yeah, it is. I have the fun part about this really is like I literally have absolutely no memory of filming that part, and so watching it back, it really was like, oh man, they did such a good job putting this all together, and it's just been fun seeing all the different moments. Yeah, and it's again, it's just like I can't say enough good things about all the amazing performers that have come onto the show, like getting to see people interact with Josh's character a little bit, the little bit I've seen online and stuff like that. It just is, yeah, it's amazing. I'm so glad that people are getting to see different sides of some of these performers and improvisers. And I know Josh has done a ton of these characters, obviously, like through this series and then through the history of College Humor. But yeah, I mean, like, once again, just people getting to see what a genius he is.
Yeah, I'm not going to recover from him switching, like being able to switch back and forth with such little notice of like, hey, here's a puppet. Go out there. Just like, okay, I got this.
Yeah. And like you said, Josh is so busy. So I'm so happy that he, was able to like make the time in his insanely busy schedule to come and be a part of this. I think the show is much better for it. Yeah.
I also felt like, I mean, the show's a spiritual whatever sequel. It felt like a blessing from the spiritual founder. Is that coherent?
Totally. Yes. Yeah, it was nice. I also I had at some point in the last few weeks messaged Pat just to be like, I watched you do so much interviewing as sort of like a jumping off point for figuring out what to do, and he was very nice in the response to that too. So I just feel very very grateful that show. Did that happen for me? What is going on? Did you hear that?
I did.
An alien. Okay.
No,
yeah, I feel so grateful that there was so much footage to watch and like comb through in order to be able to watch and sort of use that as a jumping off point for my character. Like I know we've said in the past, like I'm somebody where I work harder, not smarter. So I watch just like hours and hours and hours and hours of every different kind of interview footage, like from of course, yeah, all the comedic ones, but then just like news, like, those those Oprah interviews that she was doing with like Meghan Markle and Harry, like all of those. Some of the ones that were more like the gotcha ones, like watched a lot of Maury and Dr. Phil and stuff like that, but then like actual just like news, like the Anderson Cooper ones too. So it is I'm just really grateful for all the material out there.
Yeah. It builds well for host Vic. We get like the MSNBC dreams and like the that style of interview feels very natural. So smarter and harder.
Look at us.
You did both.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Mm-hmm. I know Trapp says he left Actually because he's got his dream job writing for television, but it's really because he killed Pat, right? Like we all know that's the thing that happened.
You're constantly trying to trap me. You're constantly trying to trap me, getting me to say things, and I won't. I don't know. I don't know. They blindfold me into the building to do VIP and make some noise, and then they blindfold me and put me in a car and then a helicopter, and then I'm home. I don't know where the building is. I don't know what else is happening. I don't know what's going on, and I never would.
I mean, Game Changer as well. We know you're in Game Changer this season.
Who's to say?
We know.
Who's to say? I don't know.
Who's to say? Sam has posted the picture of you.
I guess. I don't know. If you're saying it, then I guess. I don't know.
If Sam said it, it might be true.
I don't have an answer. I wish I did have an answer, but I don't know to that one.
Do you want to go on Actually? Would it be a nightmare for you? Actually? Would that be it? Yeah.
No, it'd be great. I love Actually. It's also just one of my like easy watching shows. Like that's one that I put on a lot and I just listened to. I'm good at it at home.
Okay.
Like I'm pretty good at it at home when I'm listening to it. Like I'd say I of the categories I know, I got like a 50% hit rate, which feels okay.
Yeah.
For that kind of a show. I think I would be terrible on it in person.
Yeah.
I think I'd be pretty terrible.
Like, yeah.
I also am oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. You're much more interesting than I am.
No, that's not true. Jordon, that is not true. What are 3 facts about yourself that people don't know?
Oh, boy. Why would you do this to me?
Because I'm the interviewer now.
That they don't know.
One.
I have a tab open on my computer that trues the story behind 30 Rock's Leap Day episode.
Fun.
Because I am obsessed with it. And
is it a leap year?
It is a leap year.
Huge.
Election year, always a leap year. Some people on the internet think it's a conspiracy. It's like, nope, every 4 years. That's just how they work.
Did they pick it that way?
I don't know. Maybe.
Probably not. Has it ever been like the Olympics with COVID where they just didn't do the Olympics one year? Have they ever just like not done an election 4 years? Probably not, right?
I mean, they tried real hard in 2020.
That's true. Seems like kind of a no-no, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 2.
2. Goodness. I don't.
You're just looking around your room. You're gonna be like, a picture frame. There's a picture frame in my room.
Looking for anything interesting. I have 2 Tolkien tattoos.
Whoa! What ones?
I have his initials on like a shield on my foot.
Can I guess the other one?
Sure.
A Hobbit.
It sucks. It's not.
Sauron.
It is not. No.
A ring.
No, it's
a sword, an owl.
It's words.
It's words.
Owl?
How we get into the mountain, Mr. Frodo? Don't know, but we're going to do it together.
Flawless in every but no, I have not all those who wander are lost down my ribs.
Same thing. That's what I said.
Yeah, basically the same thing.
No, that's a great tattoo. Why is it bad? Are you mad with the font?
Because no. I love the tattoo and I love the like message because it's from the poem "All that is gold does not glitter," which is another sentiment that I really love. And not all those who wander are lost. And I'm not going to do the rest of it because no one needs that. Anyway, the bummer is that like frat dudes have co-opted that of like not all who wander are lost. Aren't I philosophical now? And it's like no. You're not, and this means something to me.
Well, that really is it. I mean, like, that's the kind of thing. It's like, that's the same thing with like popular names where I feel like there were people for a while that are like, oh, I love the name August, but I'm not naming my kid August. And I'm just like, just do it. Why? It's going to mean something different to you and you're going to like feel a different way about it. Who cares? If it's popular, it just is like that kind of thing of like, yeah, other people also feel drawn to it and like it. Why is being a part of a group? Well, I mean, I guess maybe the group has bad ideas. I'm going to walk out of that one. But in general, I think if just because it's popular, you know, it means something to you. And I love that.
Yeah. The saving grace is it's the phrase is not all those who wander are lost, and every frat like inspirational is not all who wander are lost. They skip the those. So like I've got the street cred somewhere in this range that I have the word those on my ribs as well.
Oh, that's cool. Street cred. Street cred from who?
I don't know. Tolkien nerds.
Oh, sure. Which honestly, a big club.
Yeah. I'm friends with Don Marshall kind of now.
Okay.
The obscure Lord of the Rings facts guy. The
obscure Lord of the Rings facts guy on TikTok. Yeah. I love that.
We played a game. His lovely wife DM'd a game for charity.
Yes, I saw this on Instagram. That's so cool. How'd it go?
It was super fun. We raised like $800, I think.
Huge. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was super fun. And I wrote out a bunch of fake Lord of the Rings facts to like mess with him. And ooh, were they successful?
Really?
Yeah, because
this is your version of the band, the fake band.
Yeah. Well, because I would specifically take one. So, like, my first one and I think proudest one I came up with was that Viggo Mortensen was not originally cast as Aragorn; it was Eric Stoltz, and that joke relies on you knowing that it wasn't Eric Stoltz. Eric Stoltz was originally Marty McFly in Back to the Future before they recast it as, but Viggo Mortensen wasn't the original Aragorn. It was somebody else. But
so it is like, it's taking that like grain of truth, which is that he wasn't the original one, but then making it
and then ruining
famous.
It. Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's a thinker. And I think that seems like a perfect, joke for that man, is how I feel about
it. He swore a blood feud with me. So, you know.
What are you doing? Hey, listen, I'm happy for you that this is, I'm happy for you if you're happy. Here's what I got to say. We got to make more friends online. We got to make more friends. We got to be building out this circle, because brands are not going to want to work with us if we have, if we're making enemies, is how I feel about it.
That's fair. I'll go on an apology tour where I
it's all I'm
asking. I'm very sorry.
Go on a lengthy apology tour.
Yeah, that's all my TikTok is going to be from now on. It's just me apologizing to all the people I've wronged. It's a lengthy list, so
there's people we can have blood feuds with. I love that. There's so many people. Abria and obscure Lord of the Rings facts guy feel like people that we can be friends with those people. Yeah. I feel we need it. We need it.
Yeah, that's
the podcast needs it.
Yeah, the podcast. The
podcast needs it.
Orange Juice desperately needs us to be friends with Abria.
I feel strongly about that. Orange Juice is going to need that for the check to clear. I think
Orange Juice needs Abria. Put it on a shirt.
Okay. So and now we're sort of coming up with branding opportunities.
Yeah. God, what a horrible shirt that would be. Just the most incoherent shirt imaginable.
Starting a conversation. Like, what's that terrible oat milk company that does, you know what? No, I'm going to strike that if we can bleep that. What's that awesome oat milk company that does those ads where it's like, you're looking at a cart and the year is 2023. And like, it just like comes up with these stories that don't make any sense. But then it has us talking about it literally right now. So the branding is genius. It's so successful.
Except neither of us can remember the name of the
company. It's blue and white. Close. It's light blue and white, and sometimes has black writing on it as well. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
But I couldn't tell you the name.
Well, they got to pay us for the name drop anyway, so I feel about forgetting it.
Yeah. This is like the Martin Scorsese Super Bowl commercial. Couldn't tell you. I could tell you what it's for, only because I had a conversation with someone after the fact where like Ad Weekly or some nonsense magazine was like, we give it a 1 out of 10 because who knows what it was about. And I was like, that's fair.
What are we doing rating Super Bowl commercials?
I don't know, but if Ad Weekly wants to sponsor the pod, we're available.
Then I'm saying, like, what are we doing? I love it.
Yeah, I love it. We love it. Let's rate it more. We'll read articles. We'll read full Ad Weekly articles on here in the ad break.
I think that's a great. Yeah, we'll buy the magazine. They'll comp us the magazine. That's our payment, and then we'll read full articles, full Ad Weekly articles. That is a fun idea for a podcast. Is just reading a newspaper.
Look, if you did it in the Sarah Kanikoke voice, people would enjoy it.
Yeah, except I'm deeply dyslexic, so who knows if that's what the actual information is going to be. It'd be fine for little connector words, would be tougher when I'm like quoting quotes. And maybe the wording is important, I would say.
Yeah. That's fine. We'll get there. Look,
thank you.
I know how to edit video, kind of. It'll just be a really choppy edit of you, like me piecing all of the words together in a sentence correctly.
That's all I'm asking for.
We're gonna have to hire.
I'll podcast really still from now on. I'll just go so still. That way you can do the edit and it really looks seamless. I won't move.
Vic, as always, just a delightful hour with you.
What a pleasure, Jordan. Always a treat hearing about, we didn't get one more fact. You need one more fact. We had Tolkien tattoo.
Shit, we didn't. Yeah, I have 2 Tolkien tattoos. I guess the third fact is, the
room's not going to help you. I feel pretty confident about.
Me. Lifelong St. Louis Cardinals fan, because I grew up just outside of St. Louis, and I was at Game 6 and 7 of the 2011 World Series in the stadium. The arguably greatest World Series game ever played, Game 6.
No way! Congratulations. Is that arguable because a lot of people disagree?
No, I think arguably, like, most people would agree.
Okay. I see. So not arguable in the sense that you're going to fight people on this one.
No, guillotine. Okay. If anyone disagrees in the comments.
Hey, congratulations. That's really exciting.
And that did help me because I have a Cardinals mirror on my wall from the World Series from that year.
Listen, I stand corrected. That's okay. I am a piece of paper in the wind. There's some things that, you know, I'll really get stuck to, but for the most part, if you disagree with me, I'll go, okay, great. Actually, I agree with you. That's fine. That's fine with me. I agree.
It's why we're going to be so good for advertisers.
Yeah.
We will both fold immediately.
Yeah, I can't wait for like Philadelphia bagel bites to be my the thing. I'll eat that every single day for a month. I'm happy to. For $400, I'll eat Philadelphia bagel bites on camera every single day for the longest month of the year, we'll say.
Wash it down with Minute Maid. Agreed. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Do you want to do 3 facts, or should we save that until next time?
We'll save it till next time. I also feel like I have so much online. I have no facts that people wouldn't know about me at this point that I would be willing to share on camera.
Yeah, that's fair. This is a fun one. I did an interview with people who interview folks from Dimension 20.
Ooh.
And so like it was like 4 of us total, and at the end I was like, where can people find you? And they like rattled off their social media, and then after everyone did, I was like, when I asked Vic Michaelis that question, they said to support local trans organizations. So it was a moral test and all of you failed. So I want you to know that I am using your morality
Jordan,
as a weapon.
You're killing me, because here's the thing. It's one thing you going and creating blood feuds across the internet. It is another thing you creating blood feuds on my behalf across the internet.
No one is upset with you about it. I used it as a weapon in pure malice.
Look at us. We're going to need bad brands, I think. I think the thing is going to be is we're going to have to loop around, and the brands are going to have to be like bad brands, like BP oil. We'll do BP oil commercials.
I think I might have stock in BP oil. So hit me up. Like, it was a thing my grandma gave me in like 1992, and I don't know how to cash out stock. So I think I just still have it. So
it's your legacy.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of BP oil over here.
They're going to love how many people are mad, because then we can do those ads where we're like, are you too soft for a couple of jokes and some blood feuds? Well, look at this, baby. And then we just start our hands are covered in oil. We'll do like sort of an out damn spot thing, like Macbeth, but it's just BP oil.
Yeah,
and then we used on dish soap to get it off. Yeah.
We'll trick Ross Bryant into doing like a full Macbeth monologue for us. Like, you record it secretly from the phone in your pocket, because he can do those instantly. And then we'll put that in our commercial.
We're not going to ask him nicely to do it. We're going to trick him with a
we don't have to split the
phone.
profits. Yeah.
Sort of in keeping with the theming of that. I love that. Okay, deal. Done.
This is our villain arc. I think we figured it out. Episode 5 villain arc
is where it takes a hard left turn. People are like, it was really fun, and then episode 5 got weird.
Yeah, episode 5, they didn't have technical difficulties, and they turned into real bastards.
That's it. We really got to actually talk to each other for a little bit, and we were just sort of like, what if we, I don't know, worked on sort of messing things up a little more. Just a little bit. How fun would that be? I love that. Jordan, thank you so much for having me. What a blast as always.
Delightful. Couldn't be more delightful. I will see you in 2 weeks when we talk about whatever episode is next.
Can't wait.
And then we'll just continue this series forever and ever and ever.
For at least the next blah, blah, blah amount of weeks until VIP is done. I don't know if they announced how many episodes, and I won't be the one to announce it.
I mean, I could do the math, but I'm not gonna, so.
Oh, right. I guess they released all the characters, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
We got I'll see you for 12 episodes.
Great. And then our friendship is over. BP, you gotta act fast.
BP, you gotta hurry.
Yeah. Oh, God. All right. Bye.